What would happen if you accidentally fell into Saturn's rings? Congratulations, you've just entered a giant cosmic shredder. Saturn's rings are not one solid structure at all. They're more like a storm of ice and rock sweeping through space. They're packed with countless chunks of ice and stone. Some are as small as grains of sand. Others are as big as mountains. They race along at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour, crashing into each other, tearing each other apart, then smashing into even smaller fragments. The entire ring system stretches nearly 70,000 kilometers across. You could line up 5 Earths side by side, and they still wouldn't be wider than the rings. But here's the wildest part. For something this massive, its thinnest parts are only about 33 feet thick. That's even shorter than a 3-story building. So here's the question. How can something this thin, this chaotic, and this dangerous have formed in the first place? The answer may be destruction. A very long time ago, Saturn may have had a massive moon nearby, roughly the size of Titan today. But one day, it drifted too close to Saturn. So close that it crossed a line of no return. That line is called the Roche limit. It sounds technical, but you can think of it as a death line. Once it crosses that boundary, Saturn's brutal gravity can rip an entire moon apart. Its outer layers were torn to pieces, turning into countless fragments of ice and rock, and eventually becoming the rings that circle Saturn, as if Saturn made itself a giant necklace. And once it put it on, it wore it for hundreds of millions of years. But the truly eerie part isn't just the rings. At Saturn's North Pole, there's also a shape that still makes scientists uneasy. A perfect hexagonal storm, by all logic. A vortex should be round. In nature, fluids don't usually draw lines this clean, but somehow Saturn did. This hexagon is unbelievably huge, big enough to fit 4 Earths inside. It has lasted for at least decades, and maybe far longer. The walls of the storm plunge hundreds of kilometers into the atmosphere, like a geometric cage, locking the center tightly in place. And right in the middle of the hexagon, there's a massive red vortex. It looks like a rose made of hurricanes, and also like a giant open eye, staring into the darkness without blinking. Even now, scientists still can't fully explain why that storm is a hexagon. But the cruelest part is, even Saturn's most famous rings won't last forever. Saturn's gravity is slowly pulling ring material back into the planet. Those falling particles are what scientists call ring rain. In another 100 million years, this necklace that dazzled the entire solar system may disappear completely. 100 million years sounds unimaginably long, but on a cosmic scale, it's only a blink. And when that happens, Saturn will lose its brightest signature and become just another gas giant, drifting alone in the dark. So when you really think about it, the scariest thing about Saturn was never how far away it is. It's that it pulls you in with breathtaking beauty while showing you how cold the universe really is. It is one of the most beautiful planets and also one of the cruelest. Maybe that's exactly why humans keep wanting to get closer, because we have never let danger stop us from looking up at the stars.